My name's Sam. I'm an artist, local artist in Spokane. I'm a Fauvist, impressionistic artist. As you can see by my paintings up here, these are my smaller ones. I really enjoy doing a lot larger. So I started painting in the 70s. I've been painting for 40 years, developed my own style in 1974. I've done a lot of art shows around Spokane area, as well as Seattle, Portland. I have paintings that are sent all the way to New York, Atlanta, California, Chicago, I believe, has some paintings. Wisconsin has some paintings. I even have some paintings overseas in a bunch of different locations. At any rate, I love what I do. Art is cool. This is my 5th show here at the Red Lion, the RL Hotel. So it's nice that keep being invited back. I actually did a six-month commitment, so I'll be here next month, second Friday. I have a website. It's samwhitegallery.com. And I've also got another one I'm working on called samtheartist.com. As well as I have a studio with private shows. And you could find me pretty much in a lot of locations in Spokane. So what I'm going to do tonight is I've got 8 raw canvases. I'm going to draw out some work to paint later. I'll paint them in my studio. And just to show you what kind of style I do and how it starts out with a black permanent marker Sharpie and a canvas. And then the imagination rolls on the canvas, and then later on I paint them. And they usually turn out like the paintings on the easels. So we'll start with the first one. And what I'll do is I'll draw it. You can probably see me going through the reflection backwards, and then I'll turn it around. But usually I start out with an eyeball, and then I really have no idea how it's going to turn out until I start this thing going. My style has been changing a little bit. Same style, but the paintings have been coming out a little bit different. If you look to my right, you can see the paintings. Some of these paintings are the old style, and if you look to my left, that last painting is a fairly new one. So you can see that I'm kind of making stuff see-through, the bodies and the faces and stuff like that, so you could actually see behind them. And it's kind of interesting how I don't know how that started, but I think they all turned out pretty wild when you could see the way these faces turn out, and each one's different. I've done thousands of them, and I think the reason why I like doing faces is there's just millions of people, millions of expressions, millions of looks. So this is the first one I've done is right here. Now I'll work on number 2. So that's about how long they take me to draw out. I don't have a plan. I just do them. I think this time I'll do a side profile. And then I'll work from that. Sometimes I like going behind it to give it a 3-dimensional kind of an eyeball. So you could see the eye behind it. So at any rate, this new style is kind of wild. How I'm getting stuff to work out. it's been, I have no clue how these turn out until they're done. I don't even know what colors I'm going to paint them until I start coloring. One thing I like doing is mixing my own colors. So I just get the primary colors, black and white, and black and white, and go from there. And so this particular painting, you could tell is a little different style than the last one, and every one of them is different. But I just kind of just go with the flow, and in doing that, I'm able to come up with all kind of these different faces. So here's number 2. So anyway, number 2 is you can see that the difference between number 2 and number 1. One's a little bit more complicated, and the other one's a little more simpler. I think the simpler, it's kind of both goes both ways. So I just do a variety of them. So now we'll work on number 3. See how number 3 turns out. Sometimes I put multiple faces in them, and so I'll put 2 in this one. 2 faces, but yet it'll look like one face. So you need 2 noses. And the painting is also, I really like bright colors, as you can see by the paintings on the easels. It's always fun to make your own and enjoy how they turn out. I think this is more or less the this is how I do these triple double faces. And sometimes I come up with names for them, and they just remind me of different people. So this will be number 3. Number 3. I think number 3 is pretty cool. You got 2 faces in there. So this is number 3. And now we'll work on another one, number 4. I got to change pins. Sometimes they get flattened out. Okay, number 4. See, I always seem to start out with the eyeballs, and then I usually do a nose. Then the nose sometimes changes directions. And then so I could do these in, I believe I got a couple of drawing pads with probably over 300 or 400 of these, where they're just black and whites. And then when I first started doing these again, I did them in oil pastel, and I did them on paper. And I kind of like I like painting and doing them on canvas, and giving each one their own personality. Here's number 4. And I think it kind of a simple, not complicated. So we got number 5 coming up. This time I'll start with the eye over here. I always start with the eyeballs. And we'll put Another eyeball over here. I'm going to try to connect them in a different way sometimes. And this one's going to be a little bit of see-through going on. These also change when you start doing color on them. And then once you start painting, at first, when you start painting the eyeballs, when you first paint them, they just look like a painting, but then when you start painting the eyeballs and stuff, it gives them life and personality. And it's kind of a cool painting. Number 5. Turned out pretty good. So this is number 5. Let me see here. I can see if I can add. Yeah, I think I'm going to add a little bit more hair. So this will kind of like crazy hair. So that's number 5. So number 6. We'll see what comes up with number 6. Some people like to see the multiple faces a lot, and they're really not that bad of a challenge, and they're kind of fun. The thing about these paintings, they just make me, they're fun and whimsical, and how can you not have a good time with these? So, I think I'll keep this simpler. Okay, I think this is number 6. At any rate, on my website, there's a link for Northwest Profiles at www.samwhitegallery.com, and you click on that link, and you can see the Northwest Profile show. And it shows a lot of my 6-foot, 7-foot paintings. I just completed a 10-foot painting I'm putting down at Express Employment down, I believe it's on Maine, I think. Maine or Riverside. Anyway, it's downtown. And got a nice big wall for a 10-foot painting, so that's exciting. I'm also doing a show at the New Moon Gallery on Sprague coming up. I have paintings hanging in the Vinh Dong Vietnamese restaurant. It's a place that sells pho, and actually a pretty good place to eat. Reasonably priced, and matter of fact, the last paintings I sold was out of that place, so that's exciting. I have a lot of paintings and artwork at the Palomino Club. It's off of Francis and Lidgerwood, and that's a nice club to go visit. I've got a lot of different kind of art there. I've got paintings, and I also got leather art. I recently did a portrait of Paul Richardson of the Seahawks. I mean, he's a wide receiver of the Seahawks. I met his dad through Facebook and did a portrait of them, and then I did a portrait of him catching the one-arm catch. He did it a couple times during the Lions game, and that was exciting. And so, at any rate, this is going to be painting number 7. And at any rate, so they sent one of my paintings to Atlanta, and so Let me see. This year I'll be 59 years old. I've got 5 kids, a son and 4 daughters, and 10 grandkids. And a lot of them are into art. Most of them are, if not all of them, are talented in one way or the other. But yeah, I met some really cool people in the art world here in Spokane. And Spokane's art's changing, and it's getting a lot more liberal and comfortable. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of good artists in Spokane. So just checking all of these galleries in town, you can meet a lot of these artists and check out their work. So the next thing is the last painting, and I think I'll do it a different direction. I'll do it sideways where I can get a few more faces on the canvas. These here are not as big, but they look cool when you got multiple faces on them. I was planning on doing a 4 or 5 foot painting, at least getting it all outlined here in this on stage. But I'm going to wait for next month, and I'll probably bring a couple big ones and do them so people can see the size difference I make from these gigantic ones that I've been doing to as small as 3 and 4 inches. And it just doesn't matter. I've painted on rocks. I've painted on canvas, boards. I've done artwork on leather. I even have some leathered stuff I've done at Tandy Leather down on Monroe. It's north of Mission Street. And I don't know, it's nice that other people enjoy my work too. Nice to be able to share this God-gifted talent with a lot of people. And it's surprising how these people enjoy they enjoy looking at them. It puts a smile on their face. So this is my last drawing. It's number 8. And Corinne wants to take a picture of me holding number 8. I don't know if she can get it or not yet. So at any rate, I'm going to sign this one too so you can see my signature is a real simple S. So this one's been signed. Back in 1999, I think it was, I wound up going to an art thing, and they had a bunch of supplies for sales, like a yard sale kind of thing, and I picked up about a case of oil pastels, and it just kicked me back into gear about drawing and painting and pastels and pencils and all kind of different stuff. At any rate, I'm currently working on a painting to put in a show at the New Moon. I finished that one, and I'll be working on. I painted some mannequins and I put them in, I think, show number 3 here. And the mannequins, people enjoyed them. They're currently showing it in the Accurate Insurance on Garland, in the Garland district, right on the main drag. So they got the mannequins in the windows, plus I have a lot of paintings hanging inside Accurate Insurance. Let me see. Where else? Oh, I've got some towers still over at Kendall Yards by the Marmot Gallery in Kendall Yards. Marshall Peterson Jr.'s got his phone number in the window if you wanted to go check out those towers, plus Spa Pazio, and the Brain Freeze also have some paintings hanging in there of mine. So they're at several locations, and I do have private shows. You can call me at 509-216-5857 if you want private shows to see some artwork of mine. Any rate, so it's over in my gallery's studio's over at. It's not a gallery really; it's just a studio. But I've got probably over 100 paintings, a piece of art, maybe 200 pieces of art or more. I can't remember. I've done so many. As you can see, it only took me minutes to draw these 8 out. Last time, the first show I did here, I did, I think, 10 drawings. And then and then I took them over to the studio, and I could paint approximately 16 paintings at one time. And these are the small ones. I enjoy doing these, but I have to do a lot of them to keep my mind focused and stay busy with them. Otherwise, I could do probably 3 big ones on the easels I got. And those are 6 foot by 5 foot paintings, stuff like that. I was getting free boards from a place called Triumph out in Everett Heights, and they were 12 foot long, 49 inches wide, and I could cut them any size I wanted. But then they cut me off, and they started using them for packing. So I was back to stretching my own canvas, and then I got a wild hair and decided to do a 10 foot painting by 6 foot 8, and I hit the ceiling when I was stretching the canvas, but I got it done, and I painted it up, and it's the largest painting I've done. I like doing. I used to like making my own stretcher bars, but a guy named Dean Davis turned me on to a company called MFA, Made for Artists, and they do framing, and they made my stretcher boards for me, any size I want. And I'm glad Dean Davis turned me on to it, because they really make the paintings supreme. There's no 2x2 lines like I normally would have them. So I'm progressing. I'm still learning. I've never been to school other than high school with my artwork. I'm self-taught. I just like my style, self-taught. Mixing my colors is self-taught. And I have a huge variety of colors. And I buy, like I said, the primary colors in half-gallon jugs, and black and white in half-gallon jugs, and then I just mix my own paint. So now I stretch my own canvas, prime them, and mix my own paint and paint them. And I tell you, it's an awesome way to get release, and meditate, and just crank some tunes, and just go enjoy, put my thoughts on canvas, even though I have no clue of what I'm going to do. At any rate, I think that's about all I have. Till the next show. Thanks for letting me be here with the Red Lion. This is Sam White, and I'm completely done. See you next month, second Friday, 7 o'clock. I'll be here.